these conspiracy theories. And you're the subject of them, that you've used this pandemic to attempt to implant tracking devices in people. Does it bother you that this stuff is out there, particularly when you're working so hard to eradicate COVID-19?
Hey everybody, it's Everett with Ohio for Freedom. I'm short on time today, so this is going to be kind of rough, but I wanted to get this out there because this is a very special day for me. It's the day after that I was, for the first time ever, censored and banned on both YouTube and Facebook, okay? So I'll give you a quick little recap, and then I want to comment on the clip that I just played. So Monday, everybody knows, there was a presentation in Washington from the doctors. I was able to grab Dan Erickson on the inside segment and Dr. Emanuel on the inside segment, and then I was able to grab the entirety of the outside segment. So I posted the inside segment of Dr. Dan and the inside segment of Dr. Emanuel, and they're still up on Facebook. It's kind of interesting. And I put a commentary together on Tuesday, and it lasted not quite 24 hours, but I woke up yesterday morning to a censorship letter from YouTube, and I'm going to, in a minute, take you into that. But now, the clip that we just played was, every time you brought up Google on your phone yesterday, as soon as you brought it up, it was Google and a story from Bill Gates. Because Bill Gates is a doctor, after all, isn't he? And so that came from that segment. And Andy Serwer from Yahoo Finance asked Bill Gates, if you notice, he mentioned about people say you're trying to instill tracking. And I'm going to play a bit of his answer, and you will notice that Bill Gates never answers the question about tracking. It's kind of interesting. Watch.
These lies travel faster than the truth. You know, it's unfortunate, particularly if it means people are reluctant to take the vaccine.
Okay, so he ends his answer with another plug for the vaccine, but he never addresses the question about tracking. And the truth is, Bill Gates is involved in numerous types of technologies that involve tracking, but one thing that is not theoretical, one thing that is going on right now, is a venture through Gavi, his vaccine alliance, and MasterCard in West Africa, and it's taking place right now. I mean, they're rolling it out right now, and it may not be a chip, but the database would be the same. And well, watch the clip and you'll see what I'm talking about. Mint Press News: Africa to become testing ground for trust stamp vaccine record and payment system. Biometric identity platform partnered with the Gates-funded Gavi Vaccine Alliance and MasterCard will launch in West Africa and combine COVID-19 vaccinations, cashless payments, and potential law enforcement applications. So ladies and gentlemen, this is not theoretical. This is happening right now. So with that MasterCard program, it combines vaccination history and the ability to conduct financial transactions. And you know, it's interesting that it's starting in West Africa, because in my view, Bill Gates loves to pick on poor, struggling, developing countries and use them as guinea pigs. Doctors in India have said that. Numerous people in Africa have said that. So once again, this is not theoretical, but this is coming from the video of an interview that was immediately posted in response to what happened on Monday. So I'm going to move now into just my censorship letter. It might be interesting to you. I'm going to go through a couple of other things related to that, and let's get into that right now. Going to try to move through this quickly. So I woke up yesterday to this email from YouTube that said, my video, what are Bill Gates and the fact checkers afraid of? It was the outside section from the doctors in Washington, and it said that it contradicts the World Health Organization. That's why it was censored. So I clicked on the link, and they reiterated that YouTube doesn't allow content that contradicts the World Health Organization. So I'm going to interrupt myself right there. So I have been censored because I posted a video that contradicted the World Health Organization. So who is censoring content in the United States of America? The World Health Organization, which is co-convened by the United Nations. So please let that sink in. We are being censored by foreign forces. Who funds the World Health Organization, by the way? Well, up until a few weeks ago, the number one funder was the United States. The second largest funder was the Bill Gates Foundation. Did you know that? So now that the United States has pulled out of funding WHO, that would put the Gates Foundation in the number one funder spot, unless China has, upped the ante and surpassed them. But make no mistake, Bill Gates has got the WHO wrapped around his finger. I'm going to continue with an interesting little side note about censorship and duality as far as Facebook is concerned. Went over here and I found out that my commentary video that I put together on Facebook was taken down because it goes against community standards. Now this is interesting because I also posted a 10-minute clip of Dr. Emmanuel inside, and it's got about 23,000 views right now. And so what Facebook would like me to do is spend some money to advertise that video, and they're suggesting I spend $50 to reach more people. So I wanted to go over here to the website for America's Frontline Doctors, and this is what you get. The website's expired, so you click on that, and then it tells you it's unavailable. So I decided to click on customer care, and that way I found out that it was hosted by Squarespace. They're the ones that took it down, and then did a little more digging and found out from Breitbart that Dr. Simone Gold explains that Squarespace shut their website down with no explanation. You can read the article, and it just goes on and on. So then I'm going to go through just a couple of these. So yesterday, if you would pull up Google on your phone, first thing you would see with this story about Bill Gates and the outrageous coronavirus video, and it shows a flaw on the social media platforms. Then a little bit later in the day, another Bill Gates story shows up when you pull up Google. And then, let's see, my computer's busy. And then later in the day, yet another Bill Gates coronavirus story. Okay, so let me see if I can unpack this for you. So my video that featured a few clips of Dr. Emmanuel commentary linking the censorship of the bigger video to Event 201 and the strategy to control the message, control the narrative, to censor and so forth, that got taken down, okay? But the 10-minute video that I have of her speaking indoors is on Facebook as I'm talking to you right now, and it is now up to 24,852 views, and they want me to spend money on it so that we can get it up to more views, okay? But in response to that, every time you brought up Google yesterday, there was a story from Bill Gates, and that is their effort to refute what people are finding out and what people are learning. 3 different times during the day as I'm going to Google, it was 3 different stories. So just process that for a moment, and I'm going to take you into a couple other things, and then we'll wrap this up. Then I just wanted to show you, this is my Facebook once again. You recognize that face? That's the face of the same lady they want me to spend money advertising on. There's my YouTube. And then yesterday, this just happened to come out on the same day, the requirements for dispensing and selling hydroxy. Okay, so I've got a few of those. And just for what it's worth, found out that this gentleman is the executive director of the Ohio Board of Pharmacy. His name is Stephen W. Shireholt, and get back down there. And then this lady here lives in Liberty Township, about 5 miles from where I live, and she's the board president of the Ohio Board of Pharmacy. So, interesting. So I got a question for you. Do you think it was a coincidence that yesterday the banning of the sale of hydroxychloroquine for the Wuhan virus, was that a coincidence? I'm just asking. I don't think so at all. As I'm putting this together, the news has come out that DeWine has strongly recommended that they rescind that, which is probably going to happen. But if not, maybe we need to be in touch with Jennifer and be in touch with Steve and let them know how we feel. And so I want to get back into that video from Bill Gates with the Andy Serwer from Yahoo Finance. I'm going to make a couple comments on that because I want to show you just how dirty these people can be in trying to refute what people just want to know. Hang in there and watch with me.
I mean, the two most attacked people in this phase have been myself and Dr. Fauci. And, Dr. Fauci's just telling us the truth. Some days he's allowed to tell the truth. Some days he doesn't get contradicted, by his leadership.
Poor Bill. He gets criticized. Really, Bill? Ladies and gentlemen, how many times have you seen Bill Gates do a media appearance? When have you ever heard him field a tough question? In my experience, that would be a big never. And as far as Tony goes, did you notice what Bill did? He said when he's not contradicted by leadership, he doesn't want to come right out and say Donald Trump, but that is an intentional slam on Donald Trump. Make no mistake about it.
This is a communications exercise, and so far, the U.S. doesn't get a very high grade.
Now that one I got to comment on because he uses the word communications exercise. Folks, once again, that goes right back to GPMB and their first annual report that said we really must have a simulation system-wide in the event of a worldwide pathogen. And so Bill is talking in terms of a communication exercise because he wants to work out the bugs, how to squash this thing. And so far, the United States is a dismal failure because we're not completely clamping the lid down on the information that poor Bill doesn't want us to hear.
This week, there's a video by people who are purportedly doctors saying that you shouldn't wear masks and suggesting you use hydroxychloroquine.
What a lowball cheap shot. Purportedly doctors. Purportedly doctors. Well, I got news for you, Andy. Every one of those doctors has distinguished credentials. I don't have time to read through them, folks, and I don't know the names of all the medical places where these folks got their education, but a couple of them I recognize. I think Harvard is kind of generally regarded with at least a modicum of respect. I think UCLA kind of has at least a pretty good reputation, and that's not to disparage where everybody else went to school, but he's got to call them purportedly doctors. He knows exactly what he's doing. Let me ask you a question, Andy. Where'd you go to medical school? Where did your friend Bill go to medical school, Andy?
In terms of this outrageous, hydroxychloroquine anti-mask thing, I mean, this hydroxychloroquine, this is nutty stuff.
I think nutty stuff is treating Bill as though he's a medical professional who should supersede our own rights and abilities to make decisions about what's in the best interest of our own health. Don't you agree with me? I think nutty stuff is expecting the American people to believe that this man does not have something to gain from the entire world following course of action that he alone is the sole arbiter of. Well, folks, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Whatever you're doing, keep speaking up, keep speaking out. And as I've been in the process of putting this together, Jack Windsor has reported that it looks as though the Ohio Board of Pharmacy has taken up Mr. DeWine on his recommendation that they rescind that order. So that's an indication that we need to keep speaking up. We need to keep doing the right thing. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless your family, and God bless the state of Ohio, which we are taking back, and God bless the United States of America.